Hey, profit takers, welcome back. So today's Thursday. In the weekly template, it is day two, right? Um, see, Monday's one, Tuesday's two, Wednesday's three, two, one, because it's the reset, and then Thursday's two, and then tomorrow's day three. This is the weekly template. This is what I learned from Stacy Burke. So this dashboard is what I learned from Steve Murrow. So we have the peak, right, that happened. We're looking at Euro right now. And I'm just going to explain to you how, because yesterday we were talking about the three previous day trade setup. Okay. Let me bring that over here so you can see. As you can see, yesterday, um, oil was a three previous day high and it was 3 days of the peak. Okay, and that's another favorite trade setup of mine because it then sets up for the reversal. Okay, which did happen on oil, right? And then today, now I still believe we're still long in the oil trend. It's pulling back, but we'll know more tomorrow. But today, let me go over. Let me erase this here real quick. All right, there we go. Since I brought up oil, I might as well get over here because yesterday I took this reversal. It was a three previous day high break reversal, and this is what I took yesterday. Okay, I shorted this yesterday. Now, as it closed, it was still this was the previous day high right here, and then the previous day low. So it closed inside, right, of the range. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. It was one of those wait and see games whenever today showed up. Because, the idea is if it was just going to, because sometimes these reversals can change the trend and change the trend on the dashboard. And sometimes they're just the reversal, it's just a reversal. It's just a minor pullback. And sometimes it changes the whole thing for, one to, maybe 2 to 3 days, and then we're back long because technically we had, we did have those three breaks, right? And usually it's 3 days and then, magical things happen. At least a great setup shows up for you. So when it showed up, it closed inside of the range, right? Because again, that was a previous day high, previous day low, and then inside it closed inside of the previous day high and low. So right now, the market, when I went to sleep, was still in balance, right? We didn't know what was going to happen. So it broke yesterday's low, right? When I got here to the market, I saw that it had already broken down. And I did take the short, this first short right here was the first short that I took this morning when I saw that it had already broken down. And this was now confirming a first red day for me to go ahead and short this market today. Because at first I was like, I'm not going to mess with this market today. But when I looked at it again, I was like, oh, well, okay, maybe I will, right? This thing is really shaping up to look like a great short. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do it. So I shorted it today. All right. So now for tomorrow, like we have reached one of the major lows. Whoops. This was Friday's closing price, guys. And that was where I was thinking it was going to get down to and then, settle in as the day closes. So we're going to see, what's going to happen, right? Because right now, this is, again, broke this low, right? So if we're closing, we are going to be closing out of balance. Now this is going to be an out of balance market, right? Because technically we're going to be closing outside of the previous day range, right? And, out of balance markets, they can do one or two things, as we know. They can either, go continue in the trend, or, it can, depending like today, like I was saying, how the market behaves, it can reverse. So either going to reverse or it's going to continue. So this area, this Friday's close is going to be what I'm going to be looking for price to do something with on tomorrow, whether it's going to continue and then come all the way down here to this low, we're down here, As you can see, we have a major level here, right? And if Friday's price is going to be support, excuse me, resistance. Because I'm thinking it's going to be support. I'm not trying not to be biased here. I just don't want to be that way, right? I'm just going to be wherever the market wants to lead me, I'm going to follow. All right. I'm not going to be dead strong on it has to be this way, right? Because that's not how we trade. All right, so that is the recap on oil, because yesterday was a great short trade that I took, and then today I went short again for the confirmation of this being a first red day. And then now we're just going to wait for new information. The markets are now officially out of balance. I bet it's going to continue. It's already auctioned below yesterday's low, so we already know it's out of balance. And so we just need to wait for more information. This could be a really good continuation, like I said, coming back down to this level, or perhaps just to the previous week's low, right? Before it finally gets that support and then continue to push up. Okay. Gold. Yesterday was also the reversal. Now, the difference with yesterday on gold, so Friday, this is Friday. Friday we had, markets, were in breakout, but of course that was the low, right? So it just barely, went underneath there, it broke that low and it fell. So then we started to auction up. Right? It put in a high, boom, I marked that area, and Monday came, we're in the range, right? We're still inside the range of Friday. And so at that point, you just wait for more information. Then it put this high in place, right? By the time I got here, so I knew we were off to the races to go long. And then this one did close out of balance, so we knew that the longs were in the market. And then the next day did the same thing, closed out of balance. Okay, but what happened here when it closed out of balance, it never touched the previous day high. It never broke. It started to break down. So I knew we were going into reversal. So I shorted this yesterday. Okay. Again, we were in the range. So waiting for more information. Price came to the low, yesterday's low, and it broke through. And the moment it failed, right? Boom, we're on the races. We went long. And I took this long today. It wasn't like a beautiful long. It was a higher high. It was a high and low long. I hate this, but whatever. Put in a nice high. So I just went ahead and marked that area so that we're going to see, is this where we're going to, market is going to use that to break or break up or break down. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right. But right now it looks like it could continue to auction further down. It could go further even beyond this level. It could break through this low. I don't know, but we're just going to wait to see how everything, how the markets behave tomorrow. Dollar CAD was a reversal trade that I took today as well. So you can see here, guys. And you see how the dashboard can be very helpful. I did do a video. It's in the locals group. When you get lost in the sauce and it's blank, oftentimes when it's blank, it just means it's probably a ranging market. But if it's something that you really want to trade, like I really wanted to look into getting into gold, and when it was blank, I did a video on that. It's in the locals on, what you do when you get lost in the sauce. All right. So for the dollar CAD, this has been a great trade for me all week. Again, we had a breakout fill on Tuesday. Okay. And again, we got the higher high in the inside here. So this was on and popping for Tuesday to go long. All right. We closed inside of the range, right? Inside of Tuesday's range. So, you just have to wait for more information. All right. And we got that, pushed up. We got a higher high, guys. Right. So by the time I'm at the market, guys, this thing had already created the high, went to the low, got us a nice peak low there. So we're off to the races. So now we have these 2 days of breakouts, right? And now on this third day, I'm like, okay, it's either going to break out and trend or break out and fell, right? Well, it's going to break out, consolidate, fail, break out, consolidate, trend, that, right? So this one, by the time I'm here, I'm already seeing, and before I went to sleep, I had marked this low. When I got to the charts, I marked this low, and I also measured, like I always take my fibs, and I measured, was it this one? Okay. Was it that one? Let's see. Now I am not a stickler. Let me just clear this. I'm not a stickler, but I always switch. I'm either measuring from this low on the inside to the recent high, right? And that 50% kind of lies right in there, right? That's what the green mark is. Sometimes I'll go to that high and I'll use the low that I had marked from the previous day. Now, it looks like that's what I did, and that's where this 50% was. But I did not get into that trade of up there. I got into the trade when it was underneath the previous day's high, because that was a huge confirmation that we were in the reversal for today. So this was a great trade. And guess where it went, guys? It went all the way down to Friday's low. I didn't even hold it till it got down here. I ended up closing this trade before it got down here. Oh gosh, I can't remember where it was, but it was around this area. It was around this area, and I just closed the trade. But it was a great trade, guys. Another one. Doing this, guys, makes you more confident. You might still be a little hesitant in the beginning to put size on, but that's the whole idea with trading is risk management, getting into the right setup so you can put size on. And that's something that I've learned with, watching Stacy Burke. He's always talking about, what are you going to actually put size on? You know what I'm saying? So these are the trades that you can put size on, and you can use the dashboard to help you to narrow down, because you got to find the setups. You know what I mean? So you can use the dashboard to narrow them down to see which ones that have the same type of, let's go back to euro dollar. I don't even trade the euro dollar. Oh yeah, GU, I traded that. And we went long today because, again, we had that, it closed in breakout, right? And then look what happened. We had our, by the time I got to the chart, it was already auctioning above the previous day low after this breakout failed here. So boom, we're already reversing, right? And this also went up to Friday's close, which I was telling my friend, I'm like, yo, this thing is going to go up there before it starts to reverse, right? So, and that's what happened. It was an all day in, trade. And even with NASDAQ, this was a first red day signal yesterday, right? Because Tuesday was the peak. And I was looking at this on Tuesday and I'm like, okay, this is really weird. We have the way this thing kind of set up had me hesitant, right? I was like, okay, let's just wait for some more information. And they waited after they did this huge dump, and you had a pump in the open. It didn't get too far, but towards the end of the day is when this thing started to break down. So I just got in on this trade, towards the end of the day on Forex, but in futures, I had to close it. I couldn't, futures with the prop firms, you can't hold, you have to close it. What is it, at 4:00 or something like that? But with the Forex, I just kept my trade on. And by the time I got to the markets this morning, it was already starting to reverse. So I closed it in profits, and then I just waited for the markets to open to give me the opportunity to get back in short on this trade. And that's what happened. It did take a while though, right? Especially after this first mouse. It's kind of messed up because it is kind of like a first mouse, but it's that first drop, and then they pulled back pretty hard there before they came in again to let this thing go again towards the end of the day. And I noticed that if they do that the day before, when the moves come in towards the end of the day, just expect to wait for that move for the end of the day. So tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. We may get a reversal, we may get a continuation, I'm not sure yet. So we just have to wait to see how the markets set up. All right. Now, Euro USD, that was another one I wanted to look at. It looks just like GU. And now you could have chosen, okay, which one of these do I want to trade? Honestly, if I would have looked at the euro before the pound, I probably would have taken the euro. I just like how clean that set up versus this one, right? By the time I'm getting here, right? We have all this spikes and stuff. It's just, you can just see how clean euro is. Okay. It's quite similar, but it's, to me, it's just a lot cleaner, right? Wouldn't you agree? If you agree, just drop a comment, put yes or something, whatever. But anyway, those are the setups for today. I took gold, I took oil, I took NQ, the dollar CAD, and the pound dollar. Okay. So tomorrow and today was a great day. I mean, shoot. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are really great days to trade. All right. Because sometimes it looks like it's taking Monday and Tuesday for markets to set up on the front. And then they just completely explode on the backside. Right. So if this is going to be the scenario for next week, then great. Then we can be prepared for the first 2 days of the week for the market to set up the open range and the initial balance so that we'll know what to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? That'll be freaking awesome, right? But it's not always that perfect. But when I notice a pattern, I keep that in the back of my mind because I know it's going to happen once more. All right, guys. Again, this indicator is free for you to try for 14 days. You just got to go to my website. That information is in the description below. You can try it. You can buy it. You can buy it for the lifetime, or you can try it out month to month, whatever it is that you want. And you can definitely try it for free. So don't say I didn't give you enough time to try this thing for free for 14 days before you buy it. That's plenty of time, guys. All right. See you in the next one.